Fight for the Iron Kingdoms as a warcaster. Take control of the mighty jacks, arcane devices, and dark sorceries to bring the fight to the War Machine Hub on beastsofwar.com. Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of War Hub. Take command of elves, dwarves, and orcs in this game of massed fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com.
Welcome, beasts and hobbyist enthusiasts. We have Foreground in with the studio. We have Adam and Ben with us today.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
And we are finally here to announce the freshwater winners today. As you knew, we went through community challenges last year. Our most recent one was the freshwater train. Did you guys have fun looking at all the...
Yeah, no, it's
Impressive.
It's really
Very
cool
impressive.
because
Yeah, it's good.
as well, sometimes when you look at doing water techniques, they can be quite daunting. So some of the ones are quite good that showing you how to get through it, being able to look at what other people are doing to get inspirations for stuff you could do yourself. So yeah, and it's in. I've never done much water stuff before.
But he was saying he needed some ideas.
Yeah, and
He does
so-
all our terrain boards. He does them all very, very quickly, very efficiently.
So,
but his water's not very good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so it's inspired me to give it a go myself. So there'll be a board with like a river on it and a pond and some description. So
Fantastic.
we'll see how it
Wet
gets.
stuff, absolute.
Yeah.
All right.
In saying that, shall we get started, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so first up, we have the best executed. And this was the 3D Fountain by, drumroll, Harry Gold. This was a beautiful piece, absolutely beautiful. I loved it. He started off 3D modeling it from scratch, and as he progressed on, you may see here we have little pieces of ivy, or not ivy, what are they called?
Well, it's pondweed, isn't it?
Yeah, pondweed,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what I liked about this one was, especially with some of the information that he gave us about it, is I think he actually developed his modelling skills while he was doing it. 'Cause
Yeah.
the stuff there, I mean, I think from the stuff there about the first of all, we look at the inspiration. What gave him his inspiration?
Yeah.
Then he's given you an idea of his initial 3D render.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic because he's showing us how he's doing it. And to me, this honestly looked like it was a professional job. But when I saw his 3D render, I could never do the other ones before he's actually fleshed them out. I was thinking, yeah, okay, that's believable. And you can then see what he's produced there is fantastic.
Now, stop there a second. I actually commented on this, and if you can see,
The crack,
just here, there's little scratches on the fountain.
Yeah.
And I thought he actually painted these in.
Yeah.
And I asked him, like, did you paint these in purposefully while you were basing over the acrylic?
Yeah.
He said, no, they're just scratches.
Done scratches?
But he continued on, and if you scroll down, he actually went ahead and painted in his own little goldfish
Over the scratches,
and
yeah.
lilies. Beautiful.
Amazing, mind-blowing.
Yeah,
Mind-blowing.
so he just layered that on top of each other.
And he's using
and kept painting.
he's got a project and it goes wrong, and Adam has lots of projects like that. We won't talk about mine. but you make the best of it.
Yeah.
And that's the really important thing. So yeah, fantastic job. A really, really amazing
And then as well, when you
thing.
see them go like the toppers and stuff like
Yeah.
that, it's a real nice. It's a real good centerpiece for a game, and a real good point of contention as well.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I really, really love it. He's also not afraid to show us how he did it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is a guy who's saying, "Look, I fancy doing this. I fancy doing that."
Absolutely beautiful stuff.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's
And you've got a lovely idea of scale there with the miniatures behind.
and I love the photographs that he took at the end.
The setting that it's now placed in is really a real cool setting.
Scroll down there for a second, and we can see the miniatures, and we can see just
crazy,
the
isn't it?
scale
Lovely.
of it as well.
And what a brilliant way of blocking line of sight or causing an obstruction in the game, because
Yeah.
it keeps it to the theme. It keeps you in game,
Yes.
in your mindset.
Yes.
I love it.
Second up, we have. Now, this was for the best idea, so we wanted to see who could create the best. Not
How
really
inspired they are by it.
How inspired
Yeah.
they can be,
Yeah,
and what
definitely.
they can make from it. But this was drum roll. This was the Zombie Shower by Collins.
Beautiful. I like zombies.
Beautiful piece. I assume he was probably inspired by our Walking Dead bootcamp that we had previously.
I
It's still
absolutely.
awesome.
I need that.
I like in the whole Apocalypse range, they've still got that little bit of privacy, look, with their
Yes.
Yeah, but not only that, but you want to be civil in a world where society
It's just gone, yeah.
You want to be hygienic. I would imagine it's like your way of defining that you're not a zombie. So he's thought about the community in a zombie kind of game, trying to get on, and he's thinking about everyday things. You know, this is
But
a utility
The fact
in
that,
their world.
you know, they have to take their time up to collect water barrels,
Yeah.
hoist them up,
But look,
and
and this is the thing. You see how you
like-
got the shower booths, yeah.
Yes.
But he's also got the water trough next
Yes.
to it, so
Yeah.
you can get fresh water. Maybe that's their main
Beautiful.
camp. Maybe they've got a guard on just that.
Yeah.
It's definitely an objective in the game, because what if this is their only fresh water?
And
it's,
then
it's a really well thought
and then
out
when you
piece.
go through it as well, you get where he's got the inspiration from.
yes,
Yeah.
You
that's
get like
true.
and
sketches
I
of
love that he
yeah, like so he's
sketched
got
out
an
first.
idea of where, before going to somewhere, just going like, I'm going to make something. I'll chuck that bit on. I'll chuck that bit on.
Yeah.
And then he's done it. He's gone
But-
like, well, what do I want this to look like? Oh, let's give myself a plan. Let's know what I'm working to, so it makes it an
But he must have
achievable
been a
thing for
happy
him to do.
camper at some point, because I don't know if you know, but if ever you've had a shower out somewhere, you want to be stood on a pallet or something.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
look at his proof of concept, when he was drawing it all, he's got the pallets there, he's got the well where he's pumping it up.
And then you
from.
can see that it's done with like a few things that you can collect from your local hobby store, but also stuff you've got lying around the house
Cotton buds,
or coffee shop and
coffee
stuff like that.
stirrers. Great.
So it's not. It looks to be like a relatively inexpensive way of doing it. He's got obviously some tools for making the water,
he's going through
like
it
the
very
way
well.
he's gone through of making pallets, making
described
the.
And he's
very
given the
well.
indent.
Yeah.
So he's given the indent for the pallets, so that he's remembered that you don't want to just plonk the pallets on the terrain, because then it looks like they've been put there. But if you've been having a shower for the last few weeks, the pallet's going to make its space in the terrain. And these are the things you don't see, but you know it looks right. And if you look at it, go back and have. Well, you'd have to go back at it now. But when people go back and have a look at it, they'll see, yeah, those pallets look like they should be there.
Yes.
But then like, even the way of how he's ended up making the showers is just
The
like
shower heads.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just straws, isn't it?
yeah.
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 Beautiful. Shows exactly all the paints he used.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very well done.
Everything. Like this was in competition with the best log, I think.
Yeah.
And it really shows how much difference.
It was a strong. It was
Yes.
a very strong contender in that as well. But I mean, you know, to find yourself a strong contender in two categories and winning one is pretty awesome.
And then
that's really good.
at the end, they are defending the shower till the end. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. That was a beautiful piece. Congratulations to you, Collins,
Yeah, well
as
done,
well. Next up, we have now what we call is the junior beasts. Those are 16 years and under, and we like to include everyone that we can in the junior beasts, because not only hobbies for everyone, and this was just fantastic
starting
piece.
point
And as well,
It was a
as, yeah,
starting
and as
point,
well as
yeah.
for people that are younger as well, it's coming out of knowing where and what to do. Like the people that have been in it for longer, we've seen like books as we've been doing it. We've seen like now you've got access to loads of blogs and loads of people online.
You can find anything on YouTube now.
Yeah, like
That's true. That's very true.
like with Mel and the Trainiac and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So
You've got like that are helping people get through it. So people are starting to be able to learn from them, and then be able to put their across. So it's just bringing freshness into the hobby. So it's always getting new people involved. And and
like
like
Mel's really enjoying this. I mean, he's sends his apologies that he couldn't be here today, but he's really loves what we're doing.
And-
Train Tutor's building
yeah.
a table for us at Salute.
Yeah.
And these young people, they get given the confidence by seeing things like that. There's a lot of really good guys out there who are showing the skill and passing it on. You're not going to do it as well as them when you first do it.
but everyone's got to start somewhere.
But do you know what?
Exactly.
What we've got from the young blood with this one is actually the young designer builder. It's
and
fantastic.
Our winner for the Junior Beasts, Best Junior Beasts, was Blood Altar by Ben the Brave 21. It's a beautiful little piece, and we have some actually excellent stories about this, because
he's going to be a designer for the future, a Rainmaker for the future, because I know if Adam was wanting to melt down some polystyrene, he might be use one of those caterers things.
But this guy's
using a blowtorch. He needs to make 40 catering.
So
he needs to make
the
it
idea,
now.
the idea of that is that you have your polystyrene base, and then you normally use like the caterers torches that are used for.
It's like a very dangerous hairdryer.
For creme brulees.
And it's not naked flame.
so it's the heat from that causes the shrinkage, which then is able for you to put riverbeds in, and it gets it's a way that sometimes when you use like the knives, the hot wire knives and stuff like that, you can get quite ragged edges and stuff like that.
Yes, you just want to smooth it out.
Yeah, it's also another way that if you get the majority of your bulk done with the knife and then go over with
You blend it.
the torch, you can blend it, or you can just go straight from the beginning. But
visions of his mum saying, "What's that smell in the garage?" Just all of a sudden they're going, "Hi, mum."
That's why sometimes.
Please, I'm busy.
That's why it's sometimes better to just use heat instead of flames because it's less fumes.
It's black smoke gradually filling.
And I'm not too sure if polystyrenes can end up being like plastics that when you get it.
So we don't recommend the way that was done, but it's
because you've got to watch out for acrylic. Because if you
Yeah.
start burning acrylic, it'll just keep on melting if it gets to a certain temperature.
Now,
But
I know we've talked about blowtorches, but he also did some 3D modeling
That's
as well.
the most amazing thing. Look at that 3D modeling that's done the pillars, and he's
um,
even given it some script, some sort of writing at the base, which is fantastic.
I just think as well, as we keep on going through the years, we're going to start seeing more and more stuff. Because when I was at school, 3D printing was never going to be something that's really get taught. Whereas more and more, you're just going to be like the standard, like,
it's one of the skill sets
I got
they're taught in
3D
technology
printing class
classes
to do
nowadays.
this week.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's going to be interesting to see, and as well with the availability of 3D printers going lower and lower and lower, to see what the younger generations are going to start being able to do.
The fact is that you can 3D print from a pen.
Yeah,
It's fantastic as well. Because like I've seen people who are looking
back that
to get
Kickstarter, did you? Did you back that one? We can make the Eiffel Tower.
no, but like imagine what you can do with just drawing out. You can essentially draw your 3D model.
Well, you can now, in a way, though. That's the thing. They can actually look at it as 2D from different profiles, because they could draw their scaffolding, for instance, and like you're saying with that pen, they could like draw it out, and then when they bring it up and put it together, or is that the framework behind it. Thinking laterally is great.
Yeah.
There's some nice stuff, the nice mix on that young lad stuff as well.
I grew up in the 90s and we had to do everything with paper mache.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Everyone did a Tracy Island.
Yeah.
Paper mache.
Don't have a go at me. You may have issues from the 90s, but don't blame them on me.
Yeah.
Now, we had our best project log, and as I said before, the idea from the zombie shower from Collins, it was a strong contender, but we could not ignore the final one, which was the docks and canal system by Evil Stew.
Love it.
And
sorry, late drums there. Late drums.
this was absolutely astounding, and it's completely modular, so you can change it up. You can
exactly. It looks great, and as well later on when we start seeing the blogs of how he got the textures to do the dock side, the water effects, and the fact that it is so modular. It just looks like some interesting games.
He's used a few techniques that are quite readily available to be seen on the internet.
Yeah,
but he's executed them really well.
Yeah. And as you were saying, like
but for as well project log one, there's 4 pages of stuff in this.
It's beautiful,
and that's not him replying to comments. That's all original
content.
Just
slow down a little bit, Adam. If you can scroll back up again, right now here we've got a nice open dockyard. That would be great for a pirate ship coming in, and maybe the customs guys coming to intercept them.
Yeah,
it's the same modular terrain. We now go down a bit. If you scroll down again, now you've got a bit more. Maybe that's where a canal meets the water side. And that could be a good steampunky kind of a table. Or something.
Well, exactly like you're saying for like Carnival, or
exactly.
You've got
still plenty of docks. It could be something like
freebooter games,
or
even like as well like doing some weird versions of Guild Ball and stuff.
Anything you want. Thinking laterally, but then you've got that could be an arena down there where he's got that covered over area. Yeah, it's all lovely and it goes. Now here, what he's done is because he's put his, he's got these 45-degree angles. Is that you'd hardly notice the 45-degree angles until suddenly he puts a big chunk of it on a 45-degree angle. Now I don't know if you also noticed, but he's no longer on water. Suddenly, it's a higher part of the city.
It's not on gravel.
It's another gaming map, and that is amazing because I know there's a I love gaming maps.
The amount of information he's giving people of where to go, what to do, and then going on to how to carve the foam. So all right,
really affordable materials, and the added value is the time it took.
And then a pen and a ruler. Do you know what I mean?
A ruler. That's all.
There's no engraving with a hot wire pen or anything like that.
That's the best thing because a ballpoint pen. It's great because it doesn't. It should roll over it because it's got a ball on the end.
Yeah.
So look at that.
What I loved about this is one of the ideas that I took from this is that he used everything that he found from home, and he raveled up tinfoil and made the texture with tinfoil.
Yeah, there you go.
That was. Do you know what? I'm sure someone else is going to tell me that that's out there. I've not seen that before, and I just thought for random texture.
then look at it
awesome.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Because what he's actually done there is he's not wanted to make them look like rough stones. He's wanting to look like
They're
relatively
worn.
smooth stones that have been worn.
Yeah.
And that's mind-blowing. 'Cause, you know, sometimes you think the texture was good, but that guy did a little bit too much. That was spot on. I'm going to use that. Thank you very much. I'm going to use it.
Then how to paint, what paints to use,
Explain,
because
yes.
obviously the last thing you want to do with polystyrene is go and get a spray can.
Yeah.
Well, you can, but
yeah.
it'll be different.
Yeah.
You get a
But-
bit of a different texture.
But admittedly,
He's
though,
now showing how it gets...
but admittedly, likely I've been using though is you can get a textured paint from it's in the UK it's called B&Q.
Yeah.
And you've got to remove the little black nozzle off as it clogs a little bit too much, but you can spray polystyrene with that and you get very little shrinkage from it. I don't know why. It's
You
magic.
just told everyone to incorrectly
There
use
you
someone
go.
else's product
Yeah.
for modelling.
So,
Great idea.
Adam, if you can go to like page 4 on this, the reason we picked this as best project log is because he's got 4 pages of content, and it's just not like he is replying to.
But you can see
comments,
I'm getting to the bottom here. I'm still
You're trying to get through
Yeah.
in the time segment. Yeah, it's brilliant.
but he's not only built the terrain; he's built the houses.
Oh.
He's built
Yeah,
everything
the difference of
that's
but
on
all the
that
buildings
board.
that he seems to have made, from what
like
we're looking at, have a
signs.
purpose.
Yeah.
He's really thought about what people will want to do in that Dockland area, and that's really nice.
As well, the manhole covers as well. You saw
Look at that!
earlier.
Look at that! Some derelict buildings. You know, maybe there's been a war. Maybe industry's not as good as it used to be.
Or even
maybe it's slum
fire.
gangs. It can be anything. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You can use that damaged material buildings for anything.
Yeah, I love the way he made
Have
the
a portal with
yeah.
it. Or it could
No,
be a
no, hold on. It's not a portal.
No, but it could be.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I said, "Awesome way to make a portal." Yeah,
Oh,
I
this
know.
is a-
but it's
yeah.
actually the sink of the drain. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I loved it.
I thought, yeah, but because of the way he did it, the first time I thought, that's a
And a
portal.
little
That's
bit you
great.
go, where are we going with this one?
It's scary. No, it's about the affordability of it. You know, we were saying the other day about how that if you're going to use snow at any point in the year, buy them just after Christmas and buy those snow spray cans.
Yeah, because they're
going to be
pretty
affordable.
cheap.
The same thing if you want, you know, people make trees, but if you want a load of conifers, a load of fir trees, there's going to be a load going after Christmas. Buy them in then. Get your stocks when they're affordable for the projects you plan to do in the year, and enjoy it like an adventure. You know, I know I'm going to go on that adventure. In 3 months' time, I'm going to do whatever, and we've got an idea for people to do in a few months' time.
Yeah.
And then plan your projects, and it's then an enjoyable thing. And then the other thing is that once you've designed this thing, there's nothing better to game on than your own terrain. It's just it's just fantastic. Brings it
Yeah,
all to
there's
life.
nothing better than someone coming in and like, whoa, look at that! Where'd you buy that from?
I made
B&Q.
it.
yeah.
Tesco. Poundland. We have finally the so those were the 4 main categories, but as
Yes.
we all know from the last one,
There are
the
sometimes
scattered terrain,
something that's just
something that
awesome.
stands
But
out,
just, yeah.
and we
It's got
created-
almost a bit of everything in it as well. And you
Yeah.
just have to stand back and just go, that's a cool piece.
Yes, and this is why we created the Ultimate Terrain Maker finalists. So these are going to be hopefully at the end of the year, we're going to have 4 finalists, and they will go to community voting and see who wins the Ultimate Terrain Maker finalist. This time we have, drumroll please, Ben. We have The River Pathway by Sneal, S. Neal.
yeah.
Beautiful piece.
Crustacean. Sorry.
No, this is amazing. This blew us away because it picked up on every single category.
There's also I mean, the thing about this is I'm seeing the path. If you look at the path now, the path is clearly there. But this has been made for wargaming, so can you now look, if you look at the stratification on the stones, there's actually quite a few places where you could place a miniature.
Yes.
It's not directly apparent, but you can do that. And then the other thing is that I actually know that from looking at this, that the water is moving quite fast, and it's moving right to left, and he's done that from the spray on the stone in the bottom centre. And he's goes through all of this. Some of the things he doesn't mention and you just pick up on, but looking at it as a whole, that's a fantastic piece. I want that piece.
Is beautiful piece.
Yeah.
He
Look at that.
detailed everything to do.
You can see the levels there now as well.
Yeah. So this is obviously the very start of it. Now it almost looks perfect the way it is there because that's the main structure.
But as well, you can also see. I've used foams similar to that before, and they're quite good because you can just get like a
spatula, you know, like
for tiling and stuff like that, filling in grout, and you just stab it in and rip it off, and it gives you these striations.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not having to spend loads of times carving that out. If he has, then well done. But,
That's a true hobby, isn't it?
Yeah, you can just stab it in, pull it out, and it'll rip out.
Because of the way you do it, like
fractures.
Adam's saying, because you're putting pressure in, it does fracture a bit like geology fractures, and
then
geological fractures, and that's where
but
you
again,
get
it's just a show of how you're doing it all the way through.
Look at that, it's a brilliant observation of nature. I love it. And also now, you don't know what it is, because the way he's doing it is correct. It looks like just like a gravel bed. So when you put the water in, it tells you where he is. That could be a quarry. That could be that could be lunar. That could be the moon if you painted it.
I imagine that'd be quite hard to undercoat though.
Yeah.
Like, when you always do it, the amount of time you get over it and you realise you've left a little bit.
Yeah.
Just that tiny little
Look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the colours that he starts building up, you can start. Now you're starting to see it come together. The grasses.
So he's got everything in. He still hasn't started.
But obviously, he's still kept the dark tones for the water. So when he puts the water effects on,
gives the impression of depth and distortion of colour. But the thing is that you can see there that is a wonderful piece before he even puts the water on, and now he puts the water on.
And then he's showing you as well how to obviously dam it up, because you can't pour water on.
He's showing how he did it. But before you saw that water, you were looking at a desert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now there's a body of water. If you think of it, it's anything from about maybe a fifth of the actual terrain. But suddenly,
and then the ideas of how he's going to have water lapping against the stone and stuff like that.
It's fresh water because it's moving water, because the splashing, the look at it.
Yeah.
But now look, right then. So you see how it's completely smooth. It looks a bit confusing because there's a splash. It almost looks to me now that looks like it could be a rock thrown into the water.
Yeah, more.
And then if you did one of those sort of like expanding circles that the other guy showed us, you could make another effect. But now he's finished with the surface.
You can see as well that it's textured the surface. Yeah. And unfortunately, the name of it's left me now, but it's like an acrylic canvas painting conservative. Like you put it on top and it keeps the paints of acrylic like paintings safe.
Yeah. It's a sealant,
but
isn't it?
So it's that, and it dries clear, and then that's how you can get the
now look how the dark colours give you the impression now of the water. Now,
because the main thing, like around here, water isn't. You think of water, a lot of people would think with their mind, they think it's blue. Yeah. But if you look with your eyes, water is never blue.
Greens, browns, especially canals and stuff.
It's some really good observations there. And I mean, the thing is that I've gone from a place that I thought, looking at the miniature originally, was going to be quite a harsh environment. I can imagine men in like sort of like biohazard suits or life support suits, and now I can see a scene where an Indian camp or orcs, goblins fishing,
it's also
like, arguing over the big fish that they just caught.
It's also showing how to do trees and stuff like that as well. So
it's really nice. There's a lot going on.
So you can see why we chose this as the ultimate train winner. And
there hasn't been a lot of money spent on this, relatively. Though. No, that's the other thing we liked about it.
Yeah,
but it's just such a nice diorama.
Relatively
piece as well.
cheap. Yeah, and for a piece of train, it's actually quite large.
And nobody else has got that tree.
No,
that's the other thing. And
then at the end,
make them look real,
you've got a recap of everything that was used, so you can see the amount of products that have gone into this, like
from all different manufacturers. His favourites have gone into this,
and gathered up in the garden, whether it's some rocks from your driveway or something.
Yeah. It's all relatively quite cheap.
Yeah, if you keep your eye open.
That is the beauty of these train challenges, and we have prizes in order for those. They're 50 quid.
To
each winner. So they should be coming out from the Beasts of War guys within the next week or so. So
the national Beasts of War event, which you guys are going to explain to them, there will be then one that's chosen.
Out of the
ultimate, get another different prize. Yeah. The main thing also with this, and we're going to go on, I know, to talk about the next one, is this is about our passion. This is about showing people how much fun it is to make terrain. It's not about foreground terrain.
Well, as well, and I also think it comes back. I think we probably even said this the last time. It's like gone are the days where we used to play games on a green bit of mat with some DVDs DVDs under it, or
old videotapes.
Exactly.
Right.
So, some Hot Wheels car.
I'm not even allowed to throw my marbles at his miniatures. That's how it's changed.
You're spending time on making your miniatures look great. So the last thing you want to do is have them being played on a rubbish setting and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool to see all the stuff that people can do, and it's inspiring.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Congratulations to Harry Gold, Collins, Ben the Brave 21, Evil Stew, and Snail.
Thank you very much,
guys.
for
Thank you.
getting
Yeah,
involved.
it is
No,
fantastic.
brilliant. And thank you to everybody who got involved.
Yeah,
it was really nice to see that there's yet more people joining in and doing it.
And it's
I'm really
always
enjoying
it's always hard to choose the people that will win, because do you know what I mean? Like, everyone is taking the time and energies to do something like this and
and to
putting
put
it out
yourself up for criticism.
and also
Yes.
You're putting yourself up
Exactly,
for praise, but there's an old saying that you always, for every 10 positives, one negative can take it away. You've been
Yeah.
very brave, people. Thanks very much.
keep it up.
And if anyone thinks they can do better, this is the environment. You're not boasting. You're being asked. This is a challenge. This is what we'd like to do.
one of the best things that's come out of this stuff is, I can remember like looking at some of the comments from this, like the first one as well, is that how many people have been inspired about, like, oh, that's inspired me to do something.
Yeah.
So let's inspire the next group for what Beasts of War and what we've got planned for the next one.
Because it's a new year.
Yeah.
It's the springing of a new year.
It's the spring, and with that, we have to announce the next community challenge, which is the Shades of Spring. Now,
But think about it.
this isn't anything to do with the time of the year
March
of
to
spring.
March to June,
This-
July.
But new starts, new beginnings,
Yes.
new growth.
This is about the new life in war times and new life in destruction.
affected
So,
by
like,
war.
an
In
easy
the
way
middle of a war.
the easy way that some people might think about it is like poppies from World War One.
Brilliant
So you've
idea,
got the desolation of World War One, but you've got the poppy growth you have,
Yes.
and now we all remember the time with poppies.
Talking about World War One, a lot of tables we see now is World War, destruction,
Desert,
snow,
death and
desert,
desolation.
and Greenland.
What about
But where's the in between?
yeah?
When
that's
life's
why-
kickstarting again.
Yes.
What about spring bulbs and that sort of thing coming through the decaying? What about if there were photographs in the Second World War of the buddleia plant growing through bomb sites,
Yes.
where you've got people are living in a war zone, and although we get a lot of fun from our games, we know it's not the real thing. But it's part of the attraction with wargaming is sometimes it's just sort of like the what is it about?
It's those little details that bring it to life.
And sometimes it's and it's going to sound naff, it's like the humanity of it. And sometimes you get a check, you get a hey, what's going on, because there is our grass.
But it's not even earthbound
could
as
be.
well. It's like take for example the Martian movie where Matt Damon's trying to grow plants on Mars. Or like, we used to say that you can't have some sci-fi terrain with some flower boxes on the outside of it.
Or what's something a steampunky kind of game where the flowers are wilting because it's the end of spring. It's the shades of spring.
So a floor covering and stuff like that.
It's
of
the cherry
blossoms
blossom
and stuff.
falling down the trees. Because the Japanese always used to say armies didn't move to the cherry blossom fell because they knew that the ground would be hard enough. And that sort of that kind of thing. Anything like that.
So if you have any ideas, please comment and put down any ideas you have, because the more ideas, the more people get inspired.
The more ideas, the more people
And
can choose.
To join in, make sure that you tag everything in your forum posts with Shades of Spring.
Yeah.
And what is the end date that we chose for this? It was the end of June? I think?
Well,
And that's when we're going to be.
we hope to be here again the end of June. So we will definitely do it. But if we say to people, how about the equinox, 21st of June, and then we'll announce it by the end of the. Try and get this way a bit quicker. Announce it by the end of the month. How does that sound to you?
Yeah,
does
that sounds
sound
great.
okay?
That gives people like 2 months to maybe even more.
A couple of weeks to think about it.
Yeah, and you have plenty of time, so please get involved.
Yes.
Yeah, please do, and thanks very much. Yeah, great.
Thanks again for everyone who participated.
Congratulations to the winners.
Yes, congratulations to the winners. Prizes are out to you guys. Absolutely amazing results,
Very
and we
happy.
hope to see even more fantastic projects in the line.
And there
over
can
the
be
next
water
couple
in
of
it, just
months.
because it's shades of spring. Think laterally. We're not saying
Yeah.
no water in this one. So
Yes.
Yeah, if you can bring in the old scatter train, bring
whatever,
it in.
whatever it is, it's
I
your
mean-
impression. If you grab the community and you grab us, then you're going to win, and it's a great challenge.
Yeah,
And you end up with a good piece of terrain. Sorry,
Yes.
yourself.
yeah, you do.
This is about gaming.
With that, we'll say goodbye to the program,
cheers.
guys.
Cheers, guys.
And thank you very much for watching. That's all from me. Goodbye.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.